Welcome to Pure Mind Magic, the show to evolve your mind. Our mind is the most powerful thing we have, but no one teaches us how to use it. When we find out how, we're ready to create magic in life and in business. Learn real mindset secrets from brilliant minds around the world to change your mindset and income level forever. With every decision you make, you create your future. What is your next move? Now, welcome your host, international magician, speaker, and podcast performance consultant, Jennifer S. Royal.
Hi, this is Jennifer S. Royal, and thanks for joining me today at Pure Mind Magic and the midweek motivation and our topic of the week, magic hacks to goal setting and achieving your goals. Before I'll give you all my 8 tips I gathered together evolving around goals, I wanted to mention maybe you are in the place where you would like to expand your reach, get more followers, get your message out, your product out, what you're doing, your services. And then it comes down to influencer marketing, what is now really popular. And very often you have to spend a lot of money to reach a lot of people. And luckily, I found an amazing online course that teaches you how to do this whole process yourself. Like, where do you find influencers and how do you deal with them and how is the whole thing working? This is an 8-week online course for self-studying, so you can learn everything. And I figured that it costs you about $10,000 to get an agency doing the things for you, reaching out to influencers on YouTube, on social media, and in other places, even podcasters. And now, on your fingertips, you have this big chance to do it yourself. So when you're interested in enrolling in this course, and I got the creator of the course in my show already, and she's an amazing powerhouse. And this is why I'm recommending this course here, because it's just great. So check it out if you like. The link is direct below this episode. Let's move over to goal setting. I find out it's still a hot topic, and a lot of things are evolving around goal setting. There are so many studies done that make the big difference between people that set goals and other people that doesn't set goals. So I thought I'm going to create this episode for you and giving you some hot tips and like magic tricks or hacks, mindset hacks that you can use, small things to improve the whole process. Sometimes this goal setting thing can be really overwhelming and you don't know where to start at all. And you can't get this clarity in your mind. What is really a big problem, and with that you are obviously sending out very confusing signals of things you would have, and then you change your mind and so on. So let's start with my tip number 1. It's about decisions. So decide that you will put down your goals and decide that you pick goals for you. This is really simple, but it's actually the beginning. It's the same thing that is said in so many self-development books. When your goal is to become rich, you have to decide that you will become rich. So you have to make the decision first. Simple, but straightforward. Then, tip number 2 is intention. There's a book out called The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And intention is really powerful. It's actually so powerful that you have to be careful where you use it. There's a strategy that I found in another book that has to do with tips on how to win the lottery. And this is one strategy, to have intention cards. Meaning you write your intentions on cards and read them out loud in the morning and in the evening. And an intention is so powerful because it declares that you are really willing to have a certain thing. So think about intentions. And I tried that out for myself. So I said it like setting an intention, and it actually just like 24 hours later, it happened. So it can be really crazy because there's so much power to this intention. It's really like the abracadabra magic words. So think before you act and think before you speak. What actually is your intention? What would you like to have? What would you like to change? Up to you. Number 3, schedule it in your calendar. And I really mean that, because we're all so busy and so many things are going on in our lives. And when we don't schedule it, meaning it's not in the calendar, it will not happen. I promise you. Go so far that you even put down times for reading and studying, so you have it on your calendar. Do the same for working out. When your goal is to get in better shape or lose weight, put the workout time down in your calendar. This is the first step to really make it happen. And the same, as I said, when your goal is to read one business book or another book a week, or maybe even schedule times when you are listening to podcasts or another audiobook. So with that, you can get a lot of things done in a week, and your calendar will remind you automatically. So keep that in mind. Number 4, what I think is the most powerful tip you can use behind intentions, and that is write it down. Writing it down forces you to become specific with your goals, because as long as you only have it in your mind, it's a thought and it can move from one place to another in your mind. It can change all the time, and you are the only person who knows it. So it's really easy to lie to yourself. It's just happening in your mind. No one ever knows. The moment you start writing it down, I said this a couple of times on this podcast, that there is a magic connection scientifically proven from the hand to our brain. So when there's this movement involved, and this is why I always recommend that you really write it out by hand, write it down. There are so many journaling tips on YouTube and videos on that, but basically it's all about writing it down, getting specific in what you want. And from that, you bring it from the invisible world, what is only in your mind, into the outer world, the visible world. So you can see it too. So you have a lot of senses involved there while writing your goals down. And I found that once in a book from Brian Tracy, don't know exactly which of his books it was, but he had this very cool trick there where he said, take a piece of paper and then write 10 goals you would like to achieve in the next 12 months, and then put it into an envelope, seal it and put it away, and put on the outside of the envelope the date when to open that again. And I did this like years ago, and it's really crazy because he said it's amazing when you open it up how many things came true. And it is true, so you can try that out. Find a piece of paper, write down all your goals, put it in an envelope, seal it and put it away, and put the date on it when to open it again. And another extra tip here is that use a nice pen so that the whole process feels good to you and that there's good energy involved. So this is Brian Tracy's technique. And I then used this in a slightly different way. And actually, it's just a week ago, because I was cleaning up my whole workspace and my desktop, because I had to make a transition there, and I changed a couple of things. And then I found a piece of paper from 2015, actually, where I've written down all my goals in private and in personal or in business life. And I was really stunned that 80% of everything I've written down became true in exactly that manner, or even better. So that is how powerful it is. And I actually just wrote it down. So there were no pictures involved, no nothing else, just wrote it down. And it's like when you do that, the universe is starting to move. Try it out. Very powerful. Number 5, it's about designing your life. So you have to have this big picture in mind, what you would like to accomplish. And it's really by designing your life, you are in the creative part. It's like that you are taking action and you're not just reacting to everything that is going on. And this is also meaning that you're very consciously designing your life. So it's really easy to say, I would like to become more successful or more happy. But actually that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So what is your happy? What is your being more successful? What are the terms? What are the numbers with that? So get specific, be consciously in what you're picking, because I'm sure you know the saying, be careful what you wish for. And it's true. So decide with purpose how you would like to design your life and how everything should turn out for you. And you can really focus on the end goal. The how is not your job. So it's not your job to think exactly the strategy that will get you there, because the moment you open up, you will be exposed to other possibilities you can't see yet. But first, decide. And another tip that has to do with this designing your life is the term of scripting. And we all know that from Hollywood scripts, like screenplays. This is all about scripting, and everything is scripted. Even in TV reality shows, almost all of them are scripted, meaning all the actors know exactly what to say. It's scripted. It's planned from A to Z. Everything is planned. So there's nothing by accident. And using the scripting technique is also very powerful, and a lot of people are recommending it, because what you're doing is like sitting down, designing your life by actually scripting it out. So you set your goals, or you describe your ideal life of everything you would like to have and how your life looks like, meaning you're starting with your ideal day. When do you get up? What do you do first? And all of that. So you're scripting out your perfect screenplay of your own life. Also, all the actors that play an important role or maybe a minor role in your life. You can script it. Also, the car you're driving, where you're living, what you're doing, everything. It's scripting. Like you are the screenwriter, and then afterwards, obviously, you are the director to putting it all together, everything that's in the screenplay. And the more specific you get, for sure, the better the results, and the more specific your results will get. Then here's tip number 6 for you. I'm sure you heard of vision boards before, but I guess when you are listening to this show, you are a high achiever, you are probably an entrepreneur, or just someone who is having a lot of things going on. So maybe you don't have the time to sit down for like 2, 3, 4 hours and create your vision board by going through different magazines, finding all the pictures you would like to have, or browsing the internet, printing everything out, or even get those as professional photographs. So that's not working for you. In this case, I recommend, because I would say that vision boards are really, truly powerful. I also figured that out myself, and the same results like I mentioned with writing the goals down. I was stunned when I found my vision board again, how many things had happened in the meantime. So the version that saves time is what I created also last week. So I updated it there. I created a vision board for my desktop, and there are actually templates in the perfect sizes for your desktop. So you can just download them and then create this vision board for your desktop. Because think of it, how many hours do you spend per day in front of your screen? And every time you are closing a window, you see your desktop. And it's a perfect way to put there all the pictures of things you would like have. And maybe like in a classical vision board, put down in words everything you would like to have. And it's up to you to put a date on it, whatever you like. And a special extra tip here for you is don't use the color black in writing and in your font. Why? Because black is a magical color, but black is the color that stands for no energy is going out, no energy is coming in. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that, because you want energy to come in. Speaking about money, so money is energy, and I guess you want money energy coming in. So don't use this black color. Go to dark blue, what is really good, or your other favorite color, and see what is matching. So simple task, and I actually created mine in like 3 minutes, and it looks really good. So I like watching my screen, and I actually got a new screen, and it just looks so cool. And that was my motivation to finally do it and create this digital vision board. So I knew I would have this new screen, this big screen, and I wanted to have a really nice picture on my desktop that I was seeing. First, I was starting my new screen. So that was my story with that. The same obviously goes for your smartphone. I think the actual number is that people check their smartphone around 200 times a day. That is quite a number. So what would you like to see 200 times or more every day? A lot of people have their family members or partner on the screen. That is really nice and romantic. But think of it, maybe you can have this as 2 screens, like one when your phone is blocked and one when it's open, that you also either use a picture of something you would like to have or be, or you create a vision board for your smartphone. There are apps available for free where you can create this vision board for your smartphone. I love going with the desktop because I think it's obviously really bigger there to see it, but your smartphone is also fine, and you can then, of course, have an inspirational quote or anything that's working for you. But when it comes to that, besides, it is great writing things down. You know, whenever I say a word, you are not thinking of the word I'm saying. So when I say pancake, you won't imagine the words or the letters of pancake. You would think actually of a pancake, maybe in a pan or whatever. So you see, our brain is really driven to pictures and things in pictures. So take advantage of that. And the best thing you can do, obviously, that also connects your left hemisphere with your your right hemisphere in your brain when you use pictures and words. So you connected all the information, pictures and words. That has the most powerful impact so far. Try it out for yourself. Really easy. Get an app for your smartphone, or just download a free template to create a vision board, a digital vision board for your screen that you're seeing so often throughout the day. Brings us to number 7. I think a tip that is not mentioned that often, and it is updating your goals. Because when time passes, and I'm sure you noticed that before, things change, you change, your life changes, people in your life change, business ideas change. And sometimes you will find yourself that a lot of the information and things you wanted to have are way outdated. And I found that things I wanted so badly like years ago, and I've put so much pressure on myself to actually get it. And then like years later, it was served to me on a silver tablet, but I wasn't interested in it anymore. But of course, it was about to happen because I've once put so much energy into it, and energy doesn't get lost. So something will happen and will be created out of this energy. So update it. Maybe it's really outdated what you wanted even like 3 months ago, because sometimes things change very fast, especially nowadays. And keep in mind here that when you are setting this goal, it's like you are opening a loop. And when you don't close this loop, this is something that consumes your energy, even when just on a subconscious level, but it consumes energy. So close that loop when it's done, get that out of your list, get that out of your way, and most important of all, get yourself out of the way, because very often we are in our own way and we are blocking ourselves from having everything we or achieving everything we would like to have. So update it, really look about it. I mean, the technique I was mentioning from Brian Tracy here is an exception because you have this like 1 year that it's untouched somewhere. It's like with buying stocks and just letting them go and then see a year later how they performed. And number 8 is what I call upgrade your life. So everyone loves upgrades. When I sell my magic shows, I always offer an upgrade. And when I offer the coaching for podcasters, like podcast performance, I also offer an upgrade if you like. If you are someone who goes all in, you are open for an upgrade. With airplanes, everyone loves upgrades. It's just cool. Imagine when you arrive in a hotel and they say, hey, you get a free upgrade. You love the feeling. So upgrade is a really positive word, I think. And upgrading your life is a really good idea. So I came across this concept in another book by Denise Duffield Thomas. Hope I pronounced the name correctly. And she is basically all about manifestation. She helps a lot of business women and she has interesting books, so you can check that out. And in one of her first books that she just started writing without a big publisher behind, I found this cool idea where she advises to create or start your be, have, and do list. So to go through your life and all of that and see what you would like to upgrade in being, having, and doing. So I thought this is a nice idea and I tried it for myself. And since I did, I actually upgraded so many things. I was mentioning the new screen I got. So that changed so many things and it was just a small upgrade, but really, really cool. And I even upgraded my desk because I still have this desk I got like years ago when I started my internship in the film world. And I got this desk, which is actually 2 desks from someone who finished his PhD. And at that time it was just perfect because I was under this pressure and I needed this desk. So I bought that one. And now years later, after I'm aware of all this energy and frequency thing, I thought, oh, wow, I got this from someone, I don't know who he actually was. So I have this kind of energy still there. And then besides what I was mentioning, this desk is actually black. So it isn't working anymore. So I decided, because actually I was watching an online course because I'm so into online courses, as you can tell from my introduction, telling you about the the influencer marketing course. And I watched that like in the middle of the night. It was 1 a.m. And I don't know why, but I love watching this online course in the middle of the night. I feel then especially inspired. And I saw this and it was so beautifully designed. And in the back, there was this amazing desk made of wood. And it looked so cool and it was so big and there was a big screen on it. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm going to get one of those. And so I manifested that, and it took me a couple of weeks to go around and attract the perfect match, the perfect desk for me with this wood. And I even reached out to people and asking them about designing this desk for me. But then it was about a 10-week waiting list. And I thought, oh, I don't have time for it, because when I have an idea, it has to be implemented. So I went out and I was sure to just go to the right retailer and find it. And actually, last week it happened like that. So I was wandering around just for myself. And then there it was. I saw the perfect desk made of real wood just for me. It was waiting there. And I actually directly bought it. And I also arranged that they would deliver it directly to my home. So perfectly, no loss of energy there. And this is how it worked. So I made the decision for myself that I have to have this upgrade. And I remember once that I was listening to a podcast Unfortunately, I don't know which one because I'm listening to so many on a daily basis. And there was also a woman, and she was living together with her husband, and they created a new business. And she told him, because it was also about a desk, that this one was really nice because he made it himself, but years ago, and she decided that it just has the wrong energy. And for this new business where they were aiming really big, what I'm doing right now, they had to get another desk. And they spent a lot of money on this new desk, but she was sure that this was a kind of her turning point, and it was. So it worked out in the end, and their business got really successful. So you can argue now that this is just a belief and it's just perception, whatever, but I'm sure it is working. And it is also said that be aware of the environment you spend the most time in, and how do you feel when you sit on your desk working there. So yeah, it's just an advice. This is just my story, and maybe you get something out of it and think in a different way of the things you are having. And I just found a great way on how to sell my old desk, and I think it will be perfectly for the person that's getting it right now and serve them. And the cool thing is, whoever is getting the desk from me now, that desk has really an amazing magic energy I've put in over the last years. But for me now, there's a new turning point and stepping up onto bigger stages, and therefore I just needed this new desk, and it feels perfectly. So maybe I'm gonna, when it's there and when it's done, put somewhere a picture when people are asking for it, or when you're just curious. I will see. So that's it, and I'll give you a short summary of all the tips I gave you today about the goal setting and goal achievement, because we know that the brain learns through repetition. So here they are. Number 1, make the decision to be successful, to be rich, whatever your goal is. Number 2, set an intention. Be clear on what your intention is, what is very powerful. You can use intention cards. Number 3, schedule it in your calendar. Make sure it is written down or blocked in your calendar, whatever you want to have or achieve. Number 4, write it down. Get specific. Write it down with pen and paper what your goals are. Think of the Brian Tracy technique. Number 5, design your life consciously. You can use the technique of scripting. Number 6, create a vision board for your desktop on your screen and or your smartphone using an app. Number 7, update your goals. Check if your goals are still valid or if you have to make changes. Number 8, upgrade your life. Think of everything you would like to be, have, or do in an upgraded version of your life. Hope that was helpful. Please let me know. And the biggest favor you can do me is to share this episode with someone who you think might get some help in goal setting and achieving, or maybe I just said something other that was inspirational in this episode. So that would mean a lot if you just spread the word for Pure Mind Magic so that it will stay free for you. And also, once more, check out when you're interested in reaching more people around the world. Get this online course on influencer marketing that will teach you everything in 8 weeks so that you can do it yourself and really hit big numbers. That's it for today. I have a great interview coming up because we are very close now to 100 episodes of the Pure Mind Magic podcast. I'm about to do a special PR release for that occasion. So hope you have a magical day. All the best. Let me know when you are inspired or when you have an idea for another midweek motivation. You can always reach out at puremindmagic@gmail.com. That is puremindmagic@gmail.com. Until next time, create some magic.